Allison Rosen. Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison, with her good times never end. Allison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little cookies and cream Pop-Tarts. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is your new best friend. That particular delicious sounding carbohydrate was sent in by Allison V on Patreon.
Patreon.
Yes, I am on Patreon. All sorts of fun stuff over there. You can get episodes of The Friend Zone. Sometimes it's Ask Me Anything. Sometimes there's a guest. Sometimes it's me telling you a behind-the-scenes story. And I have actually started a document right now with all these stories. And I'm like, I need to tell all these stories. Many of them are about small conflicts that I can't talk about on the main show. But I can talk about it on Patreon, and I will. Go for an annual subscription, and you'll get 2 months free. Hi,
That's
Tony.
a good deal. Hi. I was going to ask if that meant you talk about me on the Patreon show.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, there's a way to find out. Patreon.com/Allison Rosen.
I don't even get free access as an employee.
Even Daniel pays.
Wow.
Which, every time I see that on the credit card bill, I think, this seems silly.
Well, they don't give you the ability to have multiple people access the main account. Like different, because I should be able to post as me without having to pay since I'm part of the show.
Yeah.
But I can't. I would be more involved, but
Steal
I
that
post
login.
things.
Yeah, you could. Anyway, we can have this compelling converstion off air.
Listen,
I
Tony,
would
you
like
and your simple solutions.
I'd like to say hello to my guests. Hello, Daniel Kwan.
Oh, hello. Oh, thank you.
Hello, Tony Thaxton.
Look at this record timing intro.
I know.
There's a reason why.
You may have noticed from the intro, it's a skeleton crew today.
Yeah, but powerful, magical skeletons.
Well, if you think about it, skeleton crew, like the skeleton is quite important.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'd be a blob.
Right. But then again, like this means we're lacking the heart, the brain, the lungs, the skin.
Solid point. Unless it's a skeleton with organs inside. You know what I mean?
Right. I remember seeing some meme or something that was like, we think of it like there's a skeleton inside us, but really we're inside our skeleton.
We're both inside and outside our skeleton.
Is this how this show's...
Are we all stoned?
Is this going to get deep quick?
Is this how this show's going to be? So anyway.
I hope not.
Got a lot to get to today. Uh-oh. Thank you, Wendy.
Are you going to explain why it's a skeleton crew?
I prefer to just let the question hang in the air.
Maybe that's something for Patreon.
Yeah, no, I think on the episode with Molly Roden-Winter, the polyamorist. Yeah, that's right. It sounded wrong for some reason. I explained that 2 people weaseled out of the show. And that was the word I kept using because they were concerned about the weather. And I said, the show must go on.
It's always shocking to me. You know, there's a trope, and it's a trope that's, deserved, that people in LA just completely freak out when it rains.
Yeah.
It is, they act like it's the apocalypse. And it's always surprising to me when I meet someone who is one of those people.
It is crazy. Like, I will sometimes get slightly caught up in it where like if it is like in the moment coming down really hard because like they took it to the level this time too of sending the phone alerts saying not to go anywhere unless it was an emergency.
Were not helping.
Yeah,
I didn't feel concern at all looking outside, but I did feel concerned when I read the news.
Yeah,
and then like a lot of people checked in on me, which is sweet and nice.
People from out of town.
Yeah. Out of this country, actually.
I feel like they need to target. This is a larger conversation about the weather meteorologists in this country.
Save this for Patreon.
But like, they need to stop being so broad. Like, yes, there are certain areas that we're going to, like, if you were in a flood zone or if you were on the side of a mountain, like, yes, be concerned. Mudslides, got it.
Yeah.
Everyone else, it's fine. It's just fucking rain. Like, just learn to drive. That's all I would say.
Yeah. There's some large puddles here and there.
Yeah. Watch out for puddles and potholes might get a little bad. That's kind of it.
I actually need to correct myself. It wasn't two people weaseling because of the weather. And by the way, I love these people. And if they happen to hear this, I love you. I understand. Shit comes up. One was a weather weasel and then one was a schedule weasel because we rescheduled from Monday to Wednesday.
Because of the weather.
Because of the weather. Because of the weather, both weasels wanted to do Zoom. And Tony and I you don't make us go back. Sometimes late at night, I think about logging on and it frightens me. Right. I just can't. I began to feel that like, oh God, feeling of it all closing in again and pandemic and it felt awful.
Yeah.
So,
when we got the email asking about Zoom, literally
like,
my stomach dropped and just, not what I wanted to see.
Never going back.
Tony and I hate Zoom so much that we're willing to do a terrible show with just you, no offense, in person, over a arguably better show with two weasels on Zoom. So anyway, because of the weather and the loss of guest on Monday, I was like, can we do it Thursday when the weather is going to be better? Both guests said yes, Thursday works.
Wednesday.
That's what I mean. Yes, Wednesday works. And then on Tuesday, Weasel Numero Dos said, can we do Zoom? Because it just takes too long to get to your house.
It's like he was trying to hurt you.
And then I was just like, oh my God, what level of hell is this? If we're going to do Zoom, we could have just done it on Monday. And so then I said, I did not intend to go into the nitty gritty of this, but I know what makes good pod, and I've decided to steer away from it.
This is the kind of gold you'll get
on Patreon, but more.
Even more.
This is like 14 karat, and that's like 18 karat on Patreon. So sorry, I lost interest in what I was saying. What was happening?
Get to the point.
Okay. It was right there. Oh my God, Tony, maybe
Weasels that the drive takes too long. I think that's where you left off.
So then Weasel 2 said, can we do Zoom? And I said, no. I didn't say it in such a direct way. But if you need to...
never do, but go ahead.
That's why I'm in therapy. I said, I just think Zoom isn't as good as in person, but if you need to miss this recording, I can release you. I understand. So he was off. We lost Weasel number 2. And then Weasel number 1 followed up. I'm sorry to say I'm in the same position. Like all of my stuff Monday got rescheduled. So I can't come, but I could do Zoom. And then it was just like, okay, I got fucking weasel bombed.
What level of guest would you consider doing a Zoom episode? Not that I want this to happen, but where are we talking? Like, what you get an offer and it's like, I can't not do that.
Madonna.
The Hills.
Yeah.
The Hills?
Hills. Hillary Clinton.
Oh, I thought you meant like a member
show?
from the Hills.
The entire cast.
Like, okay, we're talking Laura Conrad. But are we talking Lauren Conrad or are we talking Kristen Cavallari?
Would you for them? No.
Together? I don't know.
No, I don't think it's worth it.
Like if it's RJ and Dalton, because they don't live here. So if for some reason it seemed like we really want to have them when they're not going to be in town, maybe them or Ken Reed. But I enjoy Ken Reed, but since he can only do Zoom, he hasn't been on in a long time. So I don't know. But I understand what you're saying. Let's think.
Let's just keep thinking.
Everyone, think inside your head.
Everyone, you think too. Who would you talk to on Zoom?
There's people, but it's hard for me to think of who.
Yeah, I put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I had been offered all kinds of amazing guests before pre-pandemic. I had a hard and fast rule, only in person, and I had been offered great guests, and then it's like, oh, they're only going to be in New York, and I was like, sorry, but it's not going to. No can do.
I like that. I like that you have that that attitude.
Thank you very much. Okay, so something
you're like the opposite of Terri Gross.
And the opposite of Howard Stern, because doesn't he put them like in a little, he's not staring right at them when he's talking to them, is he?
I think they're in the same room together.
So these days, I think
they always
Clips
were
I've
back
seen
in the day.
online.
But isn't he like almost in a?
Well,
I thought he
he's-
was in a vestibule.
No, but he's looking at them. They're in the same space together.
But he's still behind like a big piece of furniture, I think.
He's got like
armoire.
a drum kit kind of situation. You
Yeah.
know, he's got like a thing in front of him, but they're still face to face. This is a table.
Okay,
It's between us,
I was
for God's
wrong.
sake.
I was wrong. Does that make you feel better?
But Terri Gross, she doesn't look at her guests. She does it from a studio. They go to another recording studio.
It's weird. Back when I used to write about music and I would interview people all the time for that, I always felt that a phoner was inferior to an in-person interview. But I know people who would say they preferred phoners, which I think is weird.
I think for what she does, it works for her, but part of what makes you such a magical interviewer is you look into their eyes
Their
and
soul.
you can read them.
And what does she do? Ask good questions?
She just asks dry questions and bores her audience to the point where they're willing to donate to their local NPR station.
No, but she's considered a really good interviewer.
You know
So
what? She's
is it?
good. She's good. You're better.
Oh, stop.
You are better, though.
Oh, thank you
You know
so
why
much.
she's considered so good?
'Cause her name's
She's
Terri.
smart and she does her homework.
Mm-hmm.
But you also do your homework.
Thank
and
you. Well, I'm smart
what
too.
you make up for smarts, you are funny.
I'm smart.
Yeah. No, you're smart and funny though. That's why you're better.
Right.
But you don't get credit by anybody. Like literally nobody gives you credit.
It's so true.
You read every book that your guests have written.
Well, this is really
You
the
watch
wrong.
everything
This is
they're
truly the wrong time to be touting that because I no longer do it 100% of the time. I do it much of the time.
Honey, you got to learn how to self-promote for God's sake.
Okay.
I'm trying to make people think highly of you, and
Okay.
you're sitting there
Sorry.
undercutting. So let's start
Yeah,
again.
but-
Let's
okay,
start over.
okay.
You literally read every single book,
Every
cover to
single-
cover.
cover to cover.
You soak it in.
Yeah, front to back, and then back to front.
Yeah, you go
I wanna-
back.
I wanna
you
all the
you revisit
perspectives.
your notes.
Mhm.
Watch every movie.
Every movie.
Literally, you go through their IMDb page. You watch every single thing that's on there.
Yeah.
You contact their reps to get the short films they start in that no one can see. Like you are thorough.
If there's like a something in the continuity and goofs section of
Right.
IMDb, I make note of that to
Right.
ask them about it.
right.
Yeah.
So
What else?
that's why you're special. Well, then you forget it and you talk about farts.
Thank you. You've truly crystallized my essence.
You said you've seen Narduar before, right?
Yes, the human
Yes.
serviette.
Yes. For anybody listening, he does there's a YouTube and he interviews.
He's been around
almost
forever.
it's almost always musicians, and I swear every one of them I've ever watched, at some point, the person he has interviewed are almost freaked out by something that he asks them,
Oh,
to the
really?
point that he just must do insane
Yeah.
research, because there's a point almost in every interview where somebody goes, "How do you know that?" And they look terrified.
Can you think of an
And-
example?
Ooh,
Like,
Boy,
does he
oh
have
boy.
researchers working for him?
I don't know. And he never will answer them.
Oh, really?
Like if he was interviewing you, and you were like, "How do you know that?" He would just go, "'Cause you're Allison Rosen. We have to know." That's his answer every time.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that way, I am Narduar-esque, in that I don't know that people think of him as an amazing interviewer.
Yeah, I think most people don't know who he is. There's that.
Just like you. Honey.
But I highly recommend. He's had Questlove on a bunch, and Questlove is to the point. There's also always a turn in the interviews where a lot of people you can tell are because he's pretty goofy and
Yeah.
and just
Oh,
seeing
that's
the
his
guy.
thing. He's
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
who's he akin to? He's almost he's not like Between Two Ferns, but
No, because
Like
it's
he's awkward?
legit, but he's just like a goofy. He dresses goofy,
Yeah.
and he's just got a real jolly attitude.
he's almost like Blippi. but he's better than Blippi.
But there's almost always a point where he'll have.
I know
can you
you
be
love
better?
Blippi.
How dare you?
But he'll have I know there's a Jay-Z one that I watched where you can tell at first Jay-Z is just why am I doing this? This is annoying, just kind of giving short. But then after a while, he starts to turn because he's whoa, this guy knows what he's talking about. And it's great. And yeah, all that, my point was all the Questlove episodes. Questlove has got to this point where he's psyched when Narduar is there. And yeah, highly recommend the Questlove episodes.
Oh, is he Canadian?
Yes.
I feel like he is.
Yeah.
So why does everyone think Terri Gross is so great?
Just because, like, in the world of celebrity interviews, hers tend to be more in depth, and
no, that wasn't my question. I know why she's great. I've listened to her. My question is, you said for what I do.
Why are you asking me?
Well, you said for what I do, in person is better, but for what she does, phone.
For her, because I think she might be the type of person that's distracted by looking at somebody instead of, like, she's probably someone who, if she's got her eyes closed and just listens, she can hear the things that you're seeing. I'm just saying it's more to do with her than any kind of particular style.
She's kind of less conversational too, isn't she?
Yeah, she's not there to, like, make friends.
Yeah.
She's there to, like,
It's like question, answer.
yeah,
question,
and but she listens to the answer, and she will hear, like, whoa, this person, in the same way, like, you might hear that someone's avoiding something and then go there. She'll do that too, but she's just hearing it, and you're not as good at hearing it as you are in seeing it.
You don't know that.
Well,
I understand. I understand what you're saying.
I'm just trying to promote your fucking ass. Like, give me a break.
Okay, so Daniel, I have a hard-hitting question for you. Tony, play some kind of hard-hitting question drop. Don't you dare play Tony Thaxton.
Duty.
Yes.
Nice.
How did you? Prophetic.
Oh, is it? Oh,
well,
really?
It's bathroom related.
Yeah. Of course it is.
Well, he's like an 80% chance.
Shit, poop, diarrhea, farts, butts. Yeah.
All right. So we had Moshe Kasher on, and his Just Mirror Everyone. I don't know if you've seen the clip. Have you seen the clip?
You made me watch it, but I wasn't listening to it.
Oh, okay, Terry. Okay, opposite of Terri Gross. Okay, Allison Rosen.
There's something to do with peeing. I don't know.
Yeah, I was having you look at camera angles. I wasn't having you look for content. Anyway, his Just Mirror Everyone was that when he pees, he flushes before he's done peeing. And he doesn't know why he does it, but he does it every single time. And then Tony enthusiastically said that he also does this.
Oh, okay.
I don't understand it.
Moshe was like, maybe all guys do. Like, how many guys are doing this? Since posting the clip, so many guys
that's
have
crazy.
said that they also do, including Dax Shepard.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that?
chime in?
He chimed in, yeah. Over 50% of the time he does. Wait, no. Yes, he always does this, and close to 50%.
So you flush twice.
Yes.
Well, what is trying to be accomplished is like timing it just right.
So that's what I didn't.
But it's rare.
I see.
That's what I didn't
Because
realize.
I'm wondering about the reason for this. Because I do not do this.
There is no reason. And I don't know if it's just like a stupid game that is in my head. Because it's not fun. It's not, as I said to him, it's not like I'm trying to impress someone or going to impress someone. But yeah, I don't know why. It just is a thing that started happening. And like he said, I've been trying to make myself stop, and it just keeps happening.
That actually makes it make a lot more sense. Because yeah, at first I'm like, what's to be gained? Who cares? But there is something incredibly boring about peeing. Like, you can't read. Like, when you poop, you can read, right? You can sit there, you can read, you play a fucking game, whatever. But peeing, you just stay, for guys, we're just standing there like, and so, like, anything that you can do to gamify it, you'll go to these like bars. Like, it started out in the late 80s. You'll have the bar that would put the newspaper up.
Yeah.
Today's paper, and you can read it while you're
I
peeing.
didn't know about that.
Well, that's why we talk, on the show. We learn things. And then like, sometimes you'll see, like, in some bars, you'll see like a little game or something. That's rare. They put the little.
You're nodding. What you know about these?
Oh,
these pee games?
I saw one recently. I don't know if this is like what you're talking about, but I was at like a rest stop, I think between here and Vegas, and you go in the bathroom and there's like screens at the urinals, and like it's like a soccer game that you're like. I can't remember if you're shooting or blocking, but you're trying to
It's
they
like
should put the controller in the bowl or in the urinal, so somehow you're.
Yeah.
Or is that?
Well, that's where you're aiming to.
Oh,
yeah. Or they'll put like a little
that's
target
so
bee.
weird.
They have that little bee in there,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
they'll do. They're not big things, but just like it's like anything to just like, oh god. And so the idea that makes sense. The idea that there would be like something to just like interrupt the boredom of this activity, to just be like time. Plus, there's like, I think guys, maybe women like this too, but I'm a guy, so I don't know. Like they like to make games of things, and so that makes sense that you'd be like, I want to see if I can time it. Like that's
I like to
that's
make
a dude
game,
thing to do.
but not in that way. Like I've never.
Have you? Well, I doubt that you've ever done something like. I remember my friends and I would sit there and fucking like we would do like so many stupid things. Like one game where you take a measuring tape and you'd lie down and see how high you could extend it up before it crackled over, and that just became like the biggest, most dramatic challenge of like, it was like, oh, and all these guys like there was we learned how to take a bottle cap and you snap your fingers and it'll go zipping across the room, and so there was a shelf like way up, and you would try to like get it, and we'd just spend hours. And when my friends moved out of their apartment, it was just like so many bottle caps. So like, anyway, what I'm saying is it makes sense. But I do not do it.
You don't.
No, but I get it.
You're in the minority.
I can't be in the minority.
Yeah, well, in the minority of the people who commented saying they also do it, but it seems that an overwhelming majority do, and that's the thing that was missing from the episode when we talked. I didn't understand that it was about timing it to the end of timing it.
Well, I'm only speaking for myself.
Yeah.
Right.
But I do, the way he phrased it, that's what I got
I
the
think
impression.
that's right.
That, yeah.
I think that's right. I think it's also about efficiency. It's like a 2-in-1 kind of thing. Like you don't have to not only like gamifying it, but also like not, I don't know, being
How is it more
beholden
efficient?
I know.
I don't think
doesn't,
it is, but I think, doesn't it seem like part of it?
I know. I get what you're thinking, but but you still gotta zip up and all that stuff.
It feels like,
so it's like
maybe you're spending less time there. Like it's going to shorten the amount of time you're standing at the toilet.
But really, you don't have to stay there and watch the flush happen.
Well, I
You can
don't.
just, yeah. No one does.
no, I do sometimes. Just got to make sure it really went down.
I have a friend. So, you go to urinals and they have the little partition, but you can, you see the person next to you. And I have a good friend who we went into a bathroom one time and he rests both hands against the wall. And I think about that so often.
I've seen it before,
And I'm just like,
How can you be sure it's not going to get a mind of its own?
you can't. Well, you look, if you go to like a men's bathroom,
There's urine everywhere.
there's piss everywhere. And I'm like, that's why. You got guys like him just fuck it all. I'll pee where it goes.
What is that? Is that
But he
like taking your
claims that he
hands
doesn't-
off the handlebars? Like, what is the
I
point
don't
of that?
know. I don't know. And he like does a lean forward kind of situation. Look,
Who is the friend, or can't you say?
I'd rather not say.
Do I know him?
I guess he wouldn't care. And no one knows who he is.
Just give me his first name.
Ryan.
Oh, I don't know of his friend.
He doesn't live in LA anymore.
Yeah.
But like,
They ran him out because
No.
he pissed everywhere.
but it was, I felt like I was filled with nothing but admiration. I mean, it wasn't, I was just like, damn. Because he claims, I'm like, dude, you're going to piss all over your shoes, man. And he's like, never a drop. Perfect control. It's like, God damn.
Wait, but you don't have that kind of control, do you?
He does, apparently.
No, but I mean, do you have muscles to control that?
He's got a powerful prostate, honey.
No, but does the human body come supplied with muscles to control which way your penis pees?
No,
Well, no. That's why it's amazing.
but I mean it.
No, I don't know. I don't.
It's out of the pants. It tends to just
Yeah, I don't think he
Fall
just like drops trow and like pisses where he may. It's more
It's
I'm
positioning.
sure he positions it and then lets go.
That's why he leans, though, because it probably helps.
He's probably
the
got
positioning.
sturdy balls, like he just rests perfectly
like
on
a
there.
like a record player with a tiny weight.
Right, like he's just got and it just like and then it just shoots forward. I don't know. I mean, again, like this is not a mystery I've solved.
What is
you
it?
talking about sturdy balls, Ryan?
Oh, you know him. What is it that makes it go hither and thither? Is it the force of the stream?
It doesn't go hither and thither whilst ye pee. But I think that
But sometimes you get a bifurcated stream, right?
well, that's like if there's a hair or something there, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, like,
I didn't know.
Okay.
That's what it is.
So, but it's more about like, if it, I don't know, like you just let go and it could drift down but I don't know. It's not like waving back and forth.
Okay, 'cause
It's not
I
like
picture it's like a guard, like a hose with a nozzle where it's like whoop, flapping around.
It's not like one of those sprinklers.
That's what I mean.
Oh, but if it were, maybe hey, listen, maybe for some guys it is like that. God bless.
Well, I know one time, and I feel bad sharing this on the show, but I'm sure it's fine because this is it happened to everyone. One time, Elliot really missed, and he seemed surprised that it happened.
Well, he's still figuring it all out. He's a young guy. This kid's got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I had a friend in college. I went to his apartment, and in the bathroom there was piss all over the floor around the toilet. And I remember thinking, like,
did he have children?
No, college.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, and I was like,
no judgment.
And I was like, dude, what the fuck, man? He's like, what? You just pee, like it happens to everybody. It's like, it doesn't, though.
Well, and even if it does, clean it up.
Well, yeah, even if it does, but it's not like you have a big toilet. Like you're not aiming for like a little like shot glass sized target, and
What
you're
a
just
terrible
missing.
Toilet.
Like I
design that
never
would
could
be.
figure that one out either. Like
He lived by himself?
No, he had a roommate. Guys can be disgusting, but you know what? Girls can be disgusting too. So.
Which of your many girlfriends taught you that? Is it me?
I just know from college that it would be like.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
Oh no, you're not disgusting, but you've got clutter. But we both have clutter issues.
Yeah,
But you've got more clutter
That's
issues.
the line of demarcation I've drawn for myself. Some people are like messy, unsanitary.
There's nothing unsanitary about our house, but we have a clutter problem.
We have a clutter problem.
A serious clutter problem.
Do you have a clutter problem? Drop.
Clutter.
He'll just ram some apples up my butt, and I don't want them.
Perfect.
Exactly, because where else does one put them?
Yeah, you have nowhere to put them. Got to store them somewhere.
You know what that made me think of? And I don't know why I went as I breathed in. That doesn't seem healthy. But anyway, that made me think of, do you remember the period of time where people were doing pig roasts? Did you ever get invited to a pig roast?
I mean, I
thought
remember
of that because of an apple in a pig's
Well,
mouth.
I remember one of our neighbors doing a pig roast when I was growing up. I don't recall like a trend of people doing pig
same.
roast.
I feel there was a trend when I lived in New York. Dustin and his friends were having a pig roast. And I remember they had to like drive.
Where they bury it? One of those kind of pig roasts?
No. I don't know how they. Oh, maybe. I actually don't know how it was prepared.
Hang on. They were doing this in New York
Yes, isn't that weird?
City.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, like, what do you mean
I
a pig
know.
roast, though?
I don't know. I just know.
Tony,
It was at
are
a
you
bar.
thinking like you bury it with the coals kind of pig
Yeah,
roast?
something like that. Like,
That's
I
what I
think of it
know
like
it'd be.
at least I really the main thing I pictured was just a backyard.
Yeah.
That's
Some people in Brooklyn had backyards.
Sure.
No, I swear.
Okay.
I've been to a Brooklyn backyard before. And,
Okay.
and
I've
he
been to
lived,
Brooklyn too, so
He lived in
maybe-
Brooklyn at the time.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the circumstances of I feel like it was at a bar. I'm pretty sure it was at a bar. So I don't exactly.
So they just put it in a barbecue. They just barbecued it. a
Yes.
pig. Okay.
But what I remember is they had to drive somewhere.
So the trend was just doing barbecue. Got it.
Hang on. I thought you were promoting me because I don't feel very
No, that's
promoted
people.
right now.
People who I needed to promote you to have already tuned out. So now this is just
That's your fault. That was your lack of stellar promotion.
You wouldn't let me.
I'm sorry. Anyway, okay. So I just remember he and his friends had to drive somewhere like outside the city to pick up the pig, not an alive pig, but still
It's been unalived.
This was pre-TikTok, but yeah, it had already been unalived, but I still, in my mind, it was always like, you grizzly pig killer,
Like a whole fucking pig.
a whole dead pig.
Now this couldn't have been like an adult pig, right? Because an adult pig is huge.
Well, it's worse if it's a piglet roast.
Yes, but still.
I don't know. It was, whatever size pig you roast and put an apple in its mouth. You know what? Talk amongst yourselves for a second because
You have pictures?
Oh, fuck no. No, but I have.
That's her wallpaper on her phone.
Yes. Yes.
You just thought I loved apples. No, I probably can find the email.
Well, that's
about the
okay.
pig roast.
You don't have to.
I would like to, because I want to know where it was now. It was so many years ago, but I want to find out where it was.
Is the digging the pig thing? Is that a Hawaii? Is that a luau thing?
I think
feel
so.
like
I've definitely
might be.
heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I just remember I don't know if you call a neighbor who lives behind you a neighbor. You know what I mean? Like when you are just right behind a person, but they were on the other side of the alley, and they dug a huge pit, and they put it in there with the coals, and it. I feel like it tasted weird.
Yeah, I feel like I remember my like dad's friends, coworkers, and stuff like doing things like that in the 80s. But like, I more remember hearing about it. I can't really remember if I was ever at one of these.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds like just people being bored. If I'm being like, just trying to think of something
bored.
to do. Oh yeah, there you go. Well, no, if I think of a javelina, they're not huge. So maybe if it's a wild boar, like was it a wild boar that they barbecued?
Okay. Lower East Side pig roast 6. So apparently they had 5 ones before this. This was in November of 2009, and this is Lower East Side pig roast 6. Sent you a message on Facebook. Just wanted to see y'all tomorrow. Just wanted to say that preparations are coming together nicely for this pig roast, and I hope to see all your smiling faces tomorrow, preferably on top of the bull. So what this says to me is...
Oh, did they have a bull that you could ride at this joint?
Yes, but I don't remember where it was. I also don't remember if I was... No, I think I was there, because I remember declining roast pig.
Those bull riding things, they're just for guys to look at girls and think of them having sex, right? Like, it's not a real...
I've never been to a bar with a mechanical bull. No, I guess I was there, but I've never
gonna
been...
surprise everybody. They think they know you, you know?
Have you ever been on a mechanical... Oh my God, I can't talk. On a mechanical bull?
I've not been on one. I've seen them. I've never been on one though.
You, Daniel?
No, of course not. But there's a bar that I've been to. There's a bar in Hollywood on Sunset.
Yeah, the Saddle Ranch.
Saddle Ranch.
Yeah, that's the terrible place that I saw it. Yeah, there's one is that the one at Universal still there? Because there's one right outside of Universal.
A Saddle Ranch?
Yeah.
Is there really?
Yeah. I can't remember if it's still there or not.
Well, not that I know of.
You guys are just there. You blew
Wait,
it.
was it in City Walk?
Like, basically right outside, like literally after City Walk, right before you enter the park. It's like you pass it like on the way out.
Oh, no
if I
way.
Remember right. Yeah.
So we haven't talked about
It shouldn't be there. I don't think it's there.
City Walk and Universal on the episode. I mean, on the show yet.
No, we haven't.
Okay, I need
We
to catch
there.
everyone up. Oh, I guess I mentioned it on Childish. I mentioned the situation on Childish. Okay. When you and I last recorded, though, we already knew we had a hookup, right? Because I already think we didn't.
No, we were putting out the call.
Oh, you mentioned, I think you did mention it on, maybe it was the solo episode we recorded the other day.
Okay. Anyway, though, Elliot really wanted to go to Universal.
Had his heart set on it.
Yeah, going to Super Mario Land. And I looked at the prices, and it is really expensive. It was going to be about $500 or a little more for the 4 of us to go.
Mm-hmm.
What? Thank you. I had said to Elliot, you and Daddy can go to Universal, or you and I can go to Universal, or we can all go to Knott's Berry Farm. And he was like, Owen can't go. And he was choking back tears. And he was trying to be stoic, but he was really upset about that. So then I said to Daniel, we got to, I think we have to just, all 4 of us have to go. Like, I don't want to, it's not, we got to find $250. It's not worth it to like, ruin his birthday like this. But you guys encouraged me on the show, see if you can find a hookup. You've got to be able to find a hookup. So I put it out there, and an amazing...
A literal angel.
An amazing listener who is also a literal angel reached out and hooked us up with 4 comped tickets.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Really? That's so nice.
Her name is Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
She's so wonderful.
Yeah.
And she's the nicest ever because she's like, it makes me feel so good to help you. She's been listening for a long time. I don't know.
Sarah.
I don't know if that's true or not. That it made her. I'm just kidding. I think it was. She's so nice. So thank you, Sarah. You made Elliot's birthday, and she's like, make sure to stop at guest services to get a button for Elliot that says happy birthday, because then everyone will say happy birthday to him. So they did.
Nice. I didn't know they did that there. I knew that was a Disneyland
Yeah.
thing.
I didn't know they did it at Universal either. So it was. We had a delightful time. Owen did decide that he wanted to go home.
Like
circa
halfway through.
Yeah, Harry. He doesn't like. He gets really easily.
He gets overwhelmed. He does not like anything with a lot of stimulation, and so it was a lot for him.
Yeah. So.
But he toughed it out.
But yeah, then he kind of sucked it up and changed his mind. So, I hadn't been to the theme park part of Universal. I hadn't been to Universal in many years. And they didn't have a theme park last time I went. It's kind of claustrophobia inducing.
There were a lot of people.
Claustrophobia inducing is too strong. Let me rephrase that. I didn't have claustrophobia, but unlike Disneyland, which is, I don't know how big Disneyland is, but it feels spread out. There's Universal. It's like there's so much in a small area, and it's like upper level and lower level. And then like when you're in Super Mario Land, it's just all like, I don't know. It feels
Universal
sort of enclosed, even though it's outside.
That Mario part looks amazing, but it's very small. Though,
Yes.
And there's not a lot to walk to in there once you're in there.
Yeah, Universal Hollywood was not designed, initially
For a
a
theme park, yeah.
And so it's like built in the hills, and they just had to make do with the space they've had. But the Mario Land in pictures, I thought, oh, it's nothing. Like, it's just like a little area.
It's pretty cool.
Being in it was actually way cooler than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah. I actually was prepared to not care at all about it, and because I'm not like a Nintendo guy.
Yeah,
but I came away being really, I really liked the Mario world.
Yeah. Did you ride the ride?
No, Elliot didn't want to do.
Here's what I will say, not to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
You're good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait,
I think
which ride?
the Mario Kart ride.
Oh, okay.
Sucks in my opinion.
What flavor of suckage?
It's like many of their rides. It's one of those kind of like, although you are in a moving
simulating
thing, but there's like goggles you have to wear, and it moves really slow. And
does it take you to the second level of the park, like that little area where you go up and you can go to Bowser's Castle?
Well, it's like in
because I was trying to figure out how to get there, and the guy who worked there was like, "Yeah, you got to do the ride to get there." And Elliot didn't want to do the ride, so he didn't do that. I didn't love that you had to spend $50 for the wristband to do this.
Yeah.
But now we have one, so in the future. But like, I really liked the way they made things. Like, Universal lacks great rides, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
But it does do some things really well that I liked. Like, I really like the interactivity of
the
that
interactive
land.
wands in Harry Potter. That's cool.
So, so Harry Potter has the wands where you can go around and you can they can stand there and do a thing and make things happen in the world, which is really cool. And in Mario World, you have those wristbands and you can go around and punch the question mark
marks,
cubes, and there are areas where you put your hand on the wall and something lights up, and you can collect coins, and that was all very cool. I liked that. I would have loved it as a kid, and Elliot did. Although I have one complaint. So part of it is you have to get these stars. So you go around, and in order to collect the stars, there are these areas of the park where you have to wait in a little line, or not so little, and then there's a kind of game that you have to do. Mm-hmm. So the one we did, there was a turtle going back and forth at the top.
I've seen that one.
And then you start it, and a turtle shell goes back and forth with a pipe, and you're trying to launch the turtle shell up through the pipe to hit the turtle, right? And there are 3 cubes that say POW cubes, and you have to time it so that you hit the one, it goes POW, and then it's a chain reaction so that the shell is right under the place.
Yep.
And we're sitting there watching the people ahead of us. Now, as it turned out, the people ahead of us, it was their second time through. So when you go through a second time, it's on hard level, which means that the timing is slower. Mm-hmm. So you have to time it so that the shell that's going back and forth is further away when you hit the queue because it has to take longer, right? Does that make sense?
I think so.
But Elliot comes up as his first time, and when it's the first time, it's quicker. So the first time he does it, totally misses it. And by the way, we had waited for like 30 minutes in this line. Does it again, misses it again. And the guy's like, no, you got to do it. And he does it a third time, he misses it again.
Oh.
And the guy was like, you missed it 3 times, sorry. And I was like, wait a minute. So we just waited in a fucking half-hour line, and I got to go wait in that line again so he can have a chance to win this coin? That really actually pissed me the fuck off, because it's like, he's a kid.
Could the guy have done anything?
I don't know what the rules are. He could have let him do it again if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they should have had like a no-fail mode for little kids or something.
Right.
Because I thought Elliot was on the verge of tears. And it was just like, dude, come the fuck on, man. Like, it's his birthday.
And it's just, you just get a
He can't
coin,
see.
quote
the other
unquote
thing is
coin,
he
and
can't
that's it.
see. He
Yeah,
couldn't see
there's no
the
actual
shell.
thing.
Like, he could, the way you were angled, you couldn't see the shell, so he didn't know what he was. The whole thing was just like, that pissed me off. But otherwise, everything was great. Yeah, whatever.
And then for dinner, we went to Bubba Gump Shrimp Co.
Oh, Elliot loves shrimp, so we were like,
Elliot loves shrimp. There is a Bubba Gump Shrimp Co. there. I find City Walk to be like dystopian. And it also kind of reminds me of like the parts of Vegas that I don't like. Like, it's very neon. It feels like Times Square.
Yeah, it's not exactly the cool part of town or
Right.
anything. Yeah.
Right.
I will say, I used to always go there. I do actually, that movie theater
I like the movie
is,
theater.
is the only like close, like real IMAX.
Yes.
So I always used to go with friends there, like opening night of the new Star Wars movies. We'd always go there because it was IMAX.
it's a great
But,
theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question.
Mhm.
Now, when you would go to the theater, do you remember where you would park and how much it cost to park?
I don't remember how much, but I would park, in their normal park, Jurassic parking,
Okay.
things like
because
that.
it was. Sorry to be so focused on money right now. I'll get past this phase of my life, God willing. But when we pulled up and came through, they're like, "Are you going to City Walk or the park?" And we said the park, and they're like, "That'll be $30."
Yeah.
And I just wonder if I had said,
There's no way
we're
it's
going to
$30
City
if
Walk.
we're going.
I can answer that.
Excellent.
They will charge you the same amount, but you can get it validated and you get a lot of that back.
Oh.
But you need
should've-
to, it's like you have to literally have a movie ticket and.
If you go to the
there.
movie theater.
So you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
just be like, go to the
Bubba
theme
Gump.
park and then just walk in and get it validated.
I don't
But we
think so, because I think
maybe-
it's past where you give your tickets and everything.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Wait, sorry. When do they give it back to you?
When you validate.
Yeah, you validate, once you go to the movie, then you validate your ticket and they give you a fair amount of that money back.
At the
movie theater.
Oh, I thought maybe we could have gotten validated at the old Shrimp Co. And then, so anyway, there was like assault is too strong, but if you let them know it's your birthday at Bubba Gump Shrimp Co., then
I knew there would be something crazy when I told her. Because those chain restaurants always have some
Yeah.
but
just
like
hilarious.
maybe they tie balloons to your wrists or they sing
and
or
I
something.
put hilarious in quotes.
Yeah. So the guy's like, wait, you know what? I have it videoed. Let's see if we have the audio. Poor Elliot
It was
was so
not
stunned.
expecting this.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if I can find
He
it.
was just like,
I think I might have turned it on a little bit too late.
you'll get the part that was the most like confusing to him.
While you're searching for that, did you say the last time you were at Universal, the theme park didn't exist?
Yes.
So you were there before July 15th, 1964?
They've had a theme park since 64.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like the studio tour and stuff existed, but they didn't have rides or anything.
It says literally July 15th, 1984 opened as a theme park.
64 or 84?
64. Because I've looked this up before too. That's when you said that I was like, am I wrong? And then I looked it up again.
I didn't remember there being rides or anything. I remember there being, when I went, there was the like backlot tour where you saw the Psycho House and you saw Jaws and you saw E.T. You like got out and went into a theater for E.T. and stuff, but I don't remember there being any rides or anything.
The last time I went, the theme park aspect of it was pretty not great.
Yeah.
Like they've improved it a lot since I was there.
All right, here we go. Let's see. Oops, sorry. Let me do it again because I turned it up.
Put the bottom of your
Okay.
Attention, Bubblegum! We have a very special birthday in the house. It's my best friend Elliot's birthday today. He's turning 100 years old today.
He's like, okay, good joke.
So he's actually famous on TikTok, so he's going to show us the moves while we sing him a song. All you need is a beat. First beat goes off. It's your beat off. Take it up, take it down. Your booty all around. Shake your booty, shake your booty.
He looks confused, as he should.
The shaking of the booty was just like a gentle, like, rocking back and forth.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
He later he was like, they got the whole restaurant's attention. Like he was like, everybody was looking at me, and then they wanted me to shake my booty.
The thing is, he does a ton of little dance moves. Like, he actually does a lot of dancing. So that's why I was like, you can do your dance moves. But I understand him just being like, what is happening?
My favorite in watching that is when he does the joke about him being 100. Like, he already knows a bad joke.
It was a total courtesy laugh.
Like, okay.
Let's do iTunes comments of the week.
Allison wants your iTunes comments. Allison wants them, yes she does. Please leave her some iTunes comments and don't forget to click 5 stars.
All right. Crow445 says, great friend. Really appreciate the effort Allison puts into our friendship, and she introduces me to a lot of cool people. Well, thank you very much for your nice comment. Not everyone appreciates all of this, though. Daniel.
Not impressed by Nicky Name 1227. I searched a comedian I like and found they were on an episode of this podcast, so I tried to give it a listen. I don't know Allison from anything, but I find her interview style to be very stilted and awkward. I don't think it's the dynamic because I've listened to the comedian in other shows and she jives well on all of them.
She.
Yes, I've not laughed even once at anything Allison has said. I gave an extra star because I was floored the podcast has existed for so long, so some people must like her. Yeah, it was 2 stars.
That's an honest negative review.
God,
a 2-star.
I just wish...
I
knew
wish
the
they'd
interview.
said who it was. I know. Me too. Well, you know, you have terrible taste. No, that's fine. I don't know. I wish I knew which interview it was. We can try to guess. Hey, listeners, which one did you find to be stilted, awkward, and unfunny? But, you know, not how this interview, or not how this comedian normally is.
Maybe don't ask that. That might lead to a lot of different answers that aren't going to feel so good.
That'd be a catalog of all the women comedians that you've interviewed. Like, oh my God, look at this. I forgot I interviewed her.
Well, Tony has a decent point. I don't know if I want to know or not. If one stands out above the rest, like, and you're sure it's that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, has there been one? There's sometimes when you're
Sure,
like...
there's people where I'm like, I don't think that went that well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. You know, I feel like it probably was on Zoom.
Of course. Yeah, it's got to be.
I don't know. Anyway, I would like to know how you feel about the show, if it's positive, and you'd like to put it in an iTunes comment, Apple Podcast comment, really. You know, or negative. But if you love the show and you just hate me, give us a negative review, but 5 stars, because then you're not hurting the show that you love. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see, guys. What should we get to now? We should probably say hello and welcome to the new patrons.
Allison wants to say thank you to a couple of special people out there who signed up to be new patrons. Patreon.com/Allison Rosen.
Hello and welcome to Jacob Hewell, who upgraded to the confidant level. That's the texting level. To Jessica Murguia, Amanda Rose, Joe Gold, Kim Fear, Roxanne, Sarah LaBeouf, K.M. Pert, Nancy Johnson, Holly Watts, John Galino, Dina McKinney, and Lisa Crater. Hello Welcome.
Wonderful people.
Wonderful to see you. Thank you for your support. As I have said,
They are the best of us.
they are the best of humanity.
Yes, they are.
As I have said before, and I will say it again, you might notice the queen of segues over here. What is a queen when she's been like put on
Deposed.
ice?
Oh, put on ice? Yeah.
I said put on ice.
Because that's a thing. That's a thing. Yeah. Oh, the term for a queen who's been put on ice? Oh, of course, that's called.
Oh, which one should I pick? Yeah.
So many terms for that. You're the ice queen, honey.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, my segues have become rusty because I've got zilch to segue into. Not a great time for podcast ads, at least not a great time for my podcast ads. So I turn to you, the listeners, the supporters, the wind beneath my wings, the winds beneath my wings. I don't know. And I say, if you love the show and you want to directly support, sign up for Patreon. Patreon.com/Allison Rosen or my Substack or both. Substack, AllisonRosen.substack.com.
Only need the support until Spotify comes to the table
With 250
with
million.
the 250 that you've asked for.
Yeah. You know, the Joe Rogan deal was 250 million over a number of years, but how many? Because if it's 250 million over 1,000 years, still, it's not that good.
I'm just putting the word out to Spotify. We would take a 10% of that deal. Okay? So if you want a bargain for the female Joe Rogan, as some call her.
People are always calling me that.
Yeah.
Ever since I started calling UFC fights.
You really should get into that game.
The UFC does he call
MMA.
them or does he is he a commentator?
I don't know. Is he a commentator or is he just like does he do the interviews?
I think he's a commentator, but I really am only guessing.
Yeah.
I am the number 2 wrestling podcast.
I'm going to see wrestling this weekend.
You are? Who are you
Yeah.
seeing?
AEW. But we're going to Vegas.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be busy there this weekend.
Wait, is it
So about that.
Yeah, what's going
let
on?
us in? I don't know.
Well, so we saw that technically it's Henderson, which is right outside of Vegas, and we saw it was coming. So a few months ago they had announced it, and we were like, oh, maybe we'll go out to that one.
Is this Double or Nothing or what?
No, it's just their Saturday night TV show
Okay.
that they're doing. So when I went on tour, then Flo was like, I think I'll get tickets, and so she looked into tickets and bought tickets. Even like kind of splurged for like good seats and everything. And then we then start looking at hotels a little bit later and she's like, why are the hotels so expensive? And then we're like, oh, it's the weekend before Valentine's Day. Maybe that's why it's crazy expensive.
I still don't know why it is.
Oh, you don't know why?
No.
And
a little something called the Super Bowl.
yeah.
Oh.
So and then I realized that was Super Bowl weekend, but I didn't realize it was actually in Vegas this year.
Well, because I still have to remind myself
Yes.
that there's a team in Vegas now.
Yeah, same. And so like I saw it, I was like, oh, it's Super Bowl weekend. I was like, probably lots of like big gamblers coming, like
That would
betting on the
make sense,
game.
yeah.
So I was like, maybe it's just really crazy. And then and the funny thing was, she thought that I did mean it's in Vegas, which was correct,
Right.
but I didn't know that. So
I love when that happens. Are any of the people, our wrestling friends going to be there?
I talked to RJ. He's not going to be there. I don't know if I should say this or not, but he did say that, they realized how expensive all the flights were, so they were like, "Yeah, I guess we don't need you." So,
Oh God.
But yeah, beyond that, I don't really know. They haven't announced a lot of what's going on yet.
Is it Collision? Is that
Yeah.
the show?
Mhm.
Got it. Who is in the Super Bowl?
Just fly into Flagstaff and drive. Who's in the Super Bowl? It's the Chiefs and the 49ers.
But neither of them are Vegas teams, right?
No,
The Super Bowl's supposed to be in a neutral.
Oh, right. So
location.
it's not your home arena.
Yes, but then
It can be. I mean,
Yeah.
they pick the arena years in advance, and then whoever ends up there ends up.
and it
there.
had never happened that a team had played the Super Bowl in their stadium, and then it happened 2 years in a row.
And which team was that in which stadium?
It was one of them was here. It was the Rams a couple years ago, and then I think it was the year before that was Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And sorry, who's the Vegas team?
the Raiders.
Okay. So Todd Perry, with whom I do Allison and Todd After Hours, he has season tickets to the Raiders. And so he's
Is he
always going to
from the
Vegas.
Bay Area?
No, I don't know why they're his
Why is
team.
he a Raider?
Where
Where's he from? Is he one of these people that
SoCal.
he became a Raiders fan when they were LA? I still
Yeah.
cannot think of them as an LA team, and I lived here while they were here.
How long were they here?
They were here
I
for a
do
long
think
time.
of them as an LA team.
At least a decade, right? Like,
I've just always because I grew up and they were Oakland, and then
Oh,
they were
right.
LA for an annoying
They're
period of time.
silver and black are their colors. Is that the
Yes,
Raiders?
Yep.
they're the most annoying team. And then they and their
Wait,
fans.
why are they annoying?
I think that there is a.
Sports talk with Allison Rosen.
I think that their fans
yeah, there is something
Are-
with the fans.
Oh, is it like Todd Perry?
are a bit rowdy, and it's like
Is it like Mets versus Yankees?
I don't know what that means in terms
Well,
of their fans, but
Mets fans are like supposed to be like a little more rough around the edges and loud and rambunctious, and Yankees fans are a little more like civilized.
how do I put this?
I think.
So when I was
I
going,
feel like
to,
that might be flipped.
Really?
Maybe?
I don't
I don't know.
look it up on
Flo's a Mets fan.
so let me just tell you this.
ask her. Will you text her? Ask her what the reputation of Mets fans and Yankees fans is.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, I don't think it's like that. Or at least when I was going to USC on Sundays when the Raiders would play at the Coliseum, you wouldn't go anywhere near there for the most part because Raiders fans would get violent.
Mm.
There was just like another level. I think because the Raiders
It's in the name, they raid.
it just became kind of like a thing that like gang members would be attracted to and stuff, and it just was like it was unsafe.
Wait, I have a memory of like a bunch of football fans flipping cars.
Sure. I mean,
I'd say
happens.
that or Philadelphia, probably.
Yeah, but that when they win a championship. So I don't know. Maybe that's not fair to Raiders fans, but I just like I feel like for a while it was just like this was a very unsafe place
Yeah.
to be. So I don't know. Plus, I feel like who cares? I feel like the ownership is a little bit mercenary. And I
Who
don't,
owns them?
what's their names?
Of the Raiders?
Yeah.
Well, it's Al Davis's
The
son
Davis.
now.
Davis.
Which, if you've never seen a picture of this guy, look
Oh.
him up because he's got a
His
fantastic
haircut. His haircut
What is it
is
like?
one for the ages.
see if I
I'm
can find
picturing
the-
like a
Yeah, tell
doll
me.
with like click-on hair.
You know, you're not far off.
Is it like
honestly.
very thick and opaque?
No, it's not. But
What's his name? Is he just Al Davis Jr.?
it's really one of those hairstyles where you just wonder what the fuck is happening in his head.
Like that was like a Donald Trump haircut feeling we had. Like, what direction is all that hair going?
But the thing with
It's like
Trump's
a
hair is there's a
parfait.
logic behind it, which is like he doesn't want to be bald. He doesn't want to look bald, so he has this bizarre thing he does.
There you go.
Oh,
But this,
oh my gosh, this is like a Dumb and Dumber kind of thing.
yes,
right?
in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the inspiration for that haircut.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh.
It's pretty remarkable.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like a bowl cut with a little extra on the back. I do
It's
think
a bowl cut with extra.
also this
Well,
guy.
it's a bowl cut in front, extra on back. in
yeah,
back.
it's a Buffalby.
Yes.
This is a nose job. I believe this man has had a nose job.
They're the
Did he
weirdest
play-
family.
Did he play sports? Like, could his nose have been?
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, his dad was a very eccentric.
Oh, here's another picture of
person.
him. I do think the front fringe of the bowl is to cover up some kind of.
Can't even with this.
Just
The front is to cover up like a baldingness. It looks like a Caesar. Remember that haircut with the short bangs across?
In his mind, he's George Clooney, you know, circa ER, you know.
I say no photo of us this week. Just post that guy for the photo of the
Maybe
episode
we
this
should just
week.
Photoshop him in. Listen, this has been delightful. Did Flo right back yet? Because if not, then we will find out on
I
the
don't
next
believe
episode.
so. I know she just got home from the gym, so she's probably showering.
Classic Flo.
She doesn't check her phone in the shower.
Will you check your phone before? It arrived while she was in the shower. I see. Okay, listen, this has been delightful. Thanks, Skeleton Crew. Allison's links, where you can find all of my stuff. Daniel, where might we find you?
I'm at Instagram, tearing up Instagram, creating trends. at Daniel Quantz. Or you know what? Just go to Allison's website, AllisonRosen.com, and click the links there for her, because you don't need to follow me.
Wonderful. And Tony.
Same old crap. Instagram at
Tony Thaxton.
Bizarre Albums every Tuesday. Oh, and I'll add Motion City Soundtrack. We're playing the Let's Go Festival in Crownsville, Maryland on May 31st.
Ooh.
Tony, I just booked a big show with Madonna that day.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And that's... Wait, but that's
On Zoom.
So,
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Everyone, thanks for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen Show?